Hello, I'm Jill Urbach, and if you love Hallmark Christmas movies, you're in the right place. Today I'm reviewing A Nashville Christmas Carol. I'll be discussing 7 elements of the movie, starting with the meet cute. I'll go through my Hallmark Christmas movie checklist, my favorite secondary characters, the wardrobe, my nitpicks, anything I feel is noteworthy, where it falls on my personal Heartstring Meter, and my overall rating for the movie. Let's jump right in. Here's a synopsis of A Nashville Christmas Carol. A workaholic television producer receives a visit from her recently deceased mentor, who warns her that her current path leads to a dark future. Our workaholic television producer, Vivian Wake, was played by actress Jessie Schramm. I thought Jessie Schramm did a good job as a career-driven television producer who was misguided by trying to emulate her mentor, Marilyn Jinwei, who is one of those never let your emotions get in the way of your career kind of people. But I thought she was unconvincing as the Scrooge character, and I'll get into that more later. Wes Brown played Gavin Chase, who is the manager of a country singer. He did a good job showing how committed he was to his client, who he had been a manager of for 12 years. She was like a friend, and by showing that he'd obviously been hurt by Vivian in the past and trying to keep his distance. Because Vivian and Gavin had been best friends as kids, and even up until they were adults, there wasn't really a meet cute in this movie. They hadn't seen each other in 12 years, and so our first glimpse we see where Gavin sees Vivian across the way, he kind of fumbles his phone, and that lets us know how he feels about seeing her, and that was kind of cute. But when they actually interact on screen for the first time, it was stiff and tense, and we're led to believe that there's too much pain in their past relationship for them to be able to progress at this point. Alright, let's go through my Hallmark Christmas movie checklist. If you don't have a copy, you can click the link below in the description and download your own copy. Print it out and have it with you when you watch the new Hallmark Christmas movies this year, and then we can compare notes. Okay, we know Hallmark likes a snowy locale, and this was in Nashville, so definitely a snowy locale. Does Nashville always have snow at Christmas? If you're in Nashville, let me know below, because I'm curious. Of course, if it's gonna be in a Hallmark movie, it's gonna snow that Christmas, right? Okay, let's see how many of these traditional Christmas activities were in the movie. Picking out a Christmas tree. No, they talked about it, but then they didn't, and her tree just magically appeared, right? Decorating the tree, yes. Baking Christmas cookies, no. Sleigh or carriage ride, no. Christmas shopping, they did that, and they wrapped presents. They didn't open presents, although she opened the music box. Playing in the snow, no. Family dinner, no. Putting lights on the house, no. Enjoying a cozy hot drink, of course, it's Hallmark. What did they have? Cider, right? Cooking or baking together, she and her sister made peppermint. I've never made peppermint. That made me want to kind of try making my own candy canes. Ice skating, no. Making a gingerbread house, no. But there were some bonus Christmas activities that aren't on the checklist, but they made a Christmas wreath and they strung popcorn. I thought that was a sweet scene where the two sisters were stringing popcorn and cranberries together. Community events. There's carol singing, yes. No tree lighting. They attended a Christmas market or craft fair. No contest, no attending church. Toy drive, helping the needy. That wasn't an active part of the plot, but they did that to reinforce that Vivian was affected by her childhood and did her part to help kids have a good Christmas in the present. Fundraiser, no. Dressy holiday event. You know, they had that cast party before the show, but it's not like it was really dressy. Vivian was kind of the only one who dressed up. And I have a thing or two to say about her dress. But I don't know, it wasn't one of those glitzy, fancy holiday events that we like to see in Christmas movies, so I didn't check that box. Okay, acceptable but not needed. This is from the Hallmark Publishing website. Moderate faith elements, no, but we did have a hint of magic, quite a bit of magic actually, and time travel. Let's talk about my favorite secondary characters. By far, I loved the Ghost of Christmas Present, played by Kimberly Paisley-Williams. She just had so much charisma and life, and she was fun to watch and fully appropriate to the quirkiness and charm she brought to that character. And then Kix Brooks of Brooks and Dunn played not the Ghost of Christmas Past, but the Spirit of Christmases which have come before. He was very articulate about that's what he was called. I thought his gentle observations and prodding to help Vivian connect to what she was seeing in her past was just really endearing. Let's talk about the wardrobe of the movie. Now, this is the year of the coats. Have you noticed, like, all the coats in the Hallmark Christmas movies this year are really great? I particularly liked Vivian's 2 of her coats. She had this beautiful shawl collar blue coat that she wore with a blue plaid scarf, and that was lovely. And then she had a white coat with these black buttons, and the white coat was almost like a, it wasn't fur at all, but it kind of gave a little bit of that textured feel to it. And I enjoyed that one. I also liked the deep red blouse that she wore with that coat. You only saw it in one scene, but that was really lovely. I would totally wear that blouse. I referred to her dress at the Christmas party. I'm sorry, I just did not like this. I thought this was a miss. The phrase that came to mind was "Kiss of the Spider-Woman," with that red lace and then the black accents. Just had an edge to it that, I don't know, maybe they thought it fit her character, but like I said, I thought "Kiss of the Spider-Woman," it was as if Elvira dressed up for Christmas and classed herself up a bit. That might be a dress she would wear. Is that being too mean? Sorry. And then we had the two country music stars, Belinda and Alexis, and when they staged their duet together, and Belinda had this silvery, sparkly dress, and Alexis, who was younger, had this shiny blue dress. Both dresses were gorgeous. Both dresses fit their age and kind of where they were in their career, and I thought those were nice choices. And they complemented each other well. However, in the background, we had the cowgirl Santa dancers. Those outfits did not work for me. I didn't love the red hats, but I get it. We're doing like a Nashville country Christmas thing, but I don't know. I think the neckline, the trim on the neckline was too wide and big, and then you have this big belt. It was unflattering on the front. Maybe I would have liked a different sleeve. And then the opaque red tights, I think, was a poor choice. Maybe if they'd had a nude tight or something, that might have worked, but it looked like they were just wearing their long johns under their dresses to dance. I really liked the red dress that the Ghost of Christmas Present wore. Yes, it was big, that flower thing on it was a bit over the top, but it worked with the character. She was just an effervescent character, and that dress totally fit. Let's talk about my nitpicks. I referred to the actress playing Vivian and how I didn't think that her Scrooginess was established well. I think Hallmark tried too hard to not make her seem like she's too mean or crotchety, and consequently she didn't seem crotchety enough. And then the thing that she did pitch a little bit of a hissy fit over was kind of forced, and so it didn't end up giving her enough of an arc through the course of the story. I think maybe if they'd shown us several things where she got upset over small things like the milk and cookies, then that would have added up and been fine. But to have her be, you know, more or less fine, and then have her have just a little bit of an issue over the milk and cookies, didn't establish what they needed to establish in order for us to appreciate any growth she might have at the end of the movie. When the Spirit of Christmases, which have come before, takes her back in time, we have a scene where Vivian and Gavin are on her front porch and they're filming her little sister Georgia for some movie that they're putting together. And the little girl who played Georgia is charming, and then she starts to sing, and it totally is obvious that she's not singing. Suddenly she turned into one of those annoying little over-the-top Broadway kids. If they had just let the actress sing without trying to make her sound better in post-production, or have somebody else sing for her, whatever it was that they did, it would have come across better. But it was kind of cringeworthy instead. Also in the past, Gavin and Vivian are at some sort of outdoor event, and there are these cutouts of a reindeer and a snowman, and it's a little beanbag game, and you toss the beanbag through the hole in the reindeer and snowman. When Gavin wins, he gets this ridiculously giant snowman as a prize. It's not like it was a game that required any strategy at all, like maybe cornhole, right? These were cutouts where the hole was like 5 feet away. So, still in the past, Gavin is a brand new manager for this up-and-coming country star, and Vivian wants to build this directing career. She's done like maybe a little commercial or two, and she asks Gavin if she can direct this new country star's music video, and he says yes. Well, a little later, the head of the record label or something tells Vivian that she won't be allowed to direct the music video. They need a more experienced director. And Vivian gets all mad at Gavin, like questions their whole friendship and everything. And I thought that was kind of the script forcing the drama, that she would get all bent out of shape where Gavin's at the bottom of the totem pole. And if they were really best friends, I think she would recognize that, and as much as she'd be disappointed, she wouldn't like cut off the entire friendship. Maybe I would have believed that more if they'd established her, again, as a more Scroogey character, but instead she just seemed immature and pouty. Oh, and that same night, she's referred to it as that was the worst night of my life, but that also was the night where her idol, this character played by Winona Judd, hires her and becomes her mentor. So that again, she's calling it the worst night of her life, and then we go into the scene and we find out that, yeah, this thing happened, but also this thing happened. And again, just didn't believe it. Another issue I had was in the present when Belinda gets bumped as being the opening act so they could put Alexis, the up-and-coming star, as the opener. And unfortunately, I didn't feel that bad for Belinda because earlier in their movie, they had a scene where Alexis was feeling very nervous and insecure, and she asks Belinda for advice, and Belinda just kind of blows her off with some non-advice like, if you forget the lyrics, just keep dancing. And so I think that was a flaw in the script to not show Belinda as compassionate earlier so that then when she gets bumped, we don't feel bad for her at all. Okay, what's noteworthy? As a fan of the actor David Tennant, I think it's noteworthy that in the scenes from the past, Wes Brown looks a lot like David Tennant. I just had to point that out. Did anybody else notice that? Let me know in the comments below. I think there was a good attempt at a subplot with Gavin trying to get approval from his parents. We can all relate to that even as adults, our parents' approval is important to us. And this was in the story, but I think it was poorly executed. Again, I think it was a flaw in the script, the way that they developed this subplot. Another noteworthy thing was just the uniqueness of the story for a Hallmark Christmas movie. It was fun that it was set in Nashville, we had it at a TV station, and it was really fun to see all the country music stars. Let's talk about my Heartstring Meter. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know that my Heartstring Meter is based purely on my physical emotional response to things in the story. Do I tear up? Do I get that warmth that just sort of exudes from my heart? My Heartstring Meter for this movie is a 2. And most of that is owing to Kimberly Paisley-Williams. Her characterization just made me feel joyful. I wanted to have those moments and feel for Gavin in his scenes with his father where he wanted his father's approval, but never quite got there. My overall rating for A Nashville Christmas Carol is a 3. This had a lot of fun elements, again with the unique story and the country music stars, and the acting of the two leads was good, but I think Hallmark missed the mark on this one. A lot of the dramatic elements and the twists just seemed forced, and the lessons that Vivian learned really seemed like they were being spoon-fed to her from the ghosts. In the original Christmas Carol, Scrooge didn't have these long monologues from the ghosts explaining to him what he's supposed to be learning. If the script were stronger, we would have seen the character make those realizations herself. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my rating. And if you haven't seen the movie, see something else first. But if you do see this one, come back and let me know in the comments what you thought of it. If you got value out of this video, I hope you'll hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell. And I'll see you at my next review. Bye-bye.